afraid of dying.
How do you know? You've never tried it before.
Children of the night, what music they make.
I would die for her. I would kill for her. Either way were bliss.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Welcome to Fright Night.
What's the prime time?
Oh, so vulgar!
So, you are something you can't take off.
You're talking about him as if he were a human being. That part of him died years ago.
Death. There are no accidents, no coincidences, no mishaps, and no escapes.
Such sights to show you.
Ugly motherfucker.
Hey, you shut your face!
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula.
What are you gonna do? Knock my block off? It's a scream, baby! Game over!
Patient.
They're here.
What is up, all you lovely people? Anyone in the chat? This is kind of not the normal time I stream on Tuesdays. Normally, this would be a Fan Film Tuesday. However, tonight will not be a Fan Film Tuesday. We'll touch on that a little bit. This is just going to be a quick stream to go over some horror news, have a little hangout. Yeah, just some chatting. Just some chatting, really. Before I jump into that, really quick, Patreon, I got to give them a shout out. I need to make a slide or a video or something to thank them. Any patrons who are here or maybe watching a replay, thank you so much for joining up over there. If anyone does want to support me on Patreon and get a little bit more content out of me, because there's some Patreon exclusives. There's some watch alongs over there, first time reactions to things. Working on some other stuff for that right now to give a little bit more. Patreon.com/bearded entertainment. You'll find me there. I just want to get that out of the way. Thank you so much to any people who support me on Patreon. Regarding Fan Film Tuesday, Fan Film Weekly, we didn't have one yesterday on Michael's channel. We're not having one tonight on my channel. We are still doing those. However, there's some developments in terms of life stuff. I could throw it out there. My fiance got into a show. We both studied acting in college, and she got into a show. She's in a musical right now, and rehearsals are Monday through Friday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So they're like right in the middle of when we would be doing Fan Film Weekly. So we're working out a time that would work for both of us and be more optimal for you all who like to join us as well, so that we can still do those every Monday and Tuesday. Or if it's a different day, it might have to be a different day. But we're definitely going to have a stream together where we talk about that with the audience as well, get you guys' input. But that's why there hasn't been one this week. We're still trying to work that out, figure out what's the best day, what's the best time, because it's either going to have to move forward. But if we move forward, it might, push into some people's work days, and depending on if they're overseas, might push into really early time for them, or we're going to have to push it back. And how late is too late for some people is really the question. So we're kind of considering that right now. And this isn't forever. Obviously the show is, I think it'll be over by April. April, May, which is it's a considerable amount of time away. For the next 3 months, I'll have that going on. So for now, though, that's why there's no Fan Film Weekly this week. Hopefully, we'll be back at it next week and watching some more of these great fan films because I absolutely do love watching them. I see a few people in the chat. I'm not expecting too many tonight, if I'm being honest. It's just us hanging out and chatting about some news. So I do see Melissa saying ready. What's up? How you doing, Melissa? Thank you so much for jumping in. Just to hang out, talk some horror. If you got any questions or any horror opinions you want to throw out there, feel free to. I see Mr. Rick as well. I'm pretty sure Mr. Rick is one of my Patreon supporters. So thank you so much. Really does help me out a lot. Horror fun. I agree. Let's have some horror fun. And there's some news. The best news in horror, in my opinion, came out today. And that's probably the first one I'll jump into because it's the one I'm most excited about. Unless we want to save that one for like the middle, because there's some other news too that's just kind of And I'm actually going to start with that. Mr. Rick, I'm pretty sure you're a fan of Scream. I know you were worked on Red Right Hand with Killjoy Jake. So Scream 7, there's been so much negative things happening with Scream 7 with the firing of Melissa Barrera, the quitting of Jenna Ortega, there's still up for debate whether or not Sydney's going to be in. There's so much just production hell going on with this movie. And today there was weeks ago, there was a kind of not a rumor, but kind of, just a lot of the creators and people who are pretty in tune with the production put out that they had a Scream 7, the production had a wish list for actors. And, Sidney Prescott was on it. And I'm pretty sure Hayden Panettiere was on there. And Patrick Dempsey, who plays Sidney's husband, they were on there. But we haven't really heard anything since then. I mean, there's been rumors that a script was done or being worked on. We had the director being hired and fired. We still don't know who the new director is. As of today, the new rumor is, and this comes from, oh gosh, I forgot their name. They're I don't want to mess this up. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I get this correct because I do not want to mess up their name. They're a very popular YouTube and social media account. They are usually pretty good about knowing what's going on. In terms of Scream, let me find them. I wish I had it. Critical Overlord. I'm pretty sure that's the account that said that gave us the news that essentially they are giving up on their wish list cast and might be looking into an all new cast. I'm okay with that at this point. Just because if we got a new director, we don't even have certainties on all the writers. I'm pretty sure we did know James was coming back. There was still up in the air whether or not Guy was coming back, but writing team being not fully set, director not being fully set, at least it's been released. Let's just go with a whole new story. I mean, don't do like a reboot, but have it don't ignore the previous movies, but if you're going to get an all new cast, cool. Do that. I'm up for it. It's going to be easier in terms of writing because you don't have to worry about the canon, really. You could just have new stories that exist in the same universe, but they don't include Sydney. They don't include Gale or any of them. So it's possible to do. I hope they do it well. And it's kind of crazy that we're at this point now because according to the original production schedule, they should be halfway through filming right now. So that, of course, is out the window. So yeah, I do see some more people jumping into the chat. I see Dominic jumping in. How's it going? Thanks for dropping by. No fan films this week. We're just going to be talking some horror news for a little bit. Honestly, it's going to be a pretty short stream. I just wanted to jump on since we're not having the fan film stream. I just want to jump on and interact with everyone. Make sure y'all know I'm still here, and we are still doing the fan film weekly. We're just taking a week off, and we're going to have to adjust the times. JTG Studios is jumping in. What's going on? Russell Dorsey jumping in saying, everyone smash that like button. Hope everyone is having a wonderful night. Happy Tuesday. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Thank you so much, Russell. Yeah, I hadn't said that, but if you haven't, it really does help me out. Helps YouTube realize that more people should be watching the stream. They share it out a little bit more. Am I excited about the Crystal Lake show? Now here, I am. I want to address this first by saying I am. However, I'm also a little disappointed, if I'm being honest, because here's the thing. We haven't gotten a Friday the 13th movie in 15 years? 2009 was when the last Friday movie came out. It's 2024. That's 15 years. And then the first Friday material we get coming back is a TV show that for all we know, we're not going to get Jason as we know it. I don't think that's going to be the case, because if it's talking about Pamela and Camp Crystal Lake, well, that was previous Jason. That's not the Jason we know and love. The Jason we know and love came into being in Friday the 13th Part 3. That's when he finds the mask. That's when he really starts killing. I mean, obviously he was the killer in Part 2, but he still had the sack on and everything. The Jason we're all used to did not come into being until Friday the 13th Part 3. If this is focusing on any time period where Pamela's alive, Jason's still going to be a kid. So I am excited that we're getting the show, but I'm also a little disappointed that after 15 years of no Friday the 13th, we're coming back to a TV show that won't even have the Jason we know. Now, that I could be wrong on that. We haven't gotten too many release details of it. There could be more current day Jason, if that makes sense, of the Jason we know and love. There could be more of that than I expect, but I'm just thinking if Pamela's there, Jason can't be there, because, well, I mean, the whole reason Pamela did what she did is because Jason was dead. So, yeah. And let's see. Do you think Friday fans would be fine with the show focusing on a more character development than a traditional slasher? You need some character development. You do. You got to have some heart in a movie for it to work properly. Here's the thing. We already saw what happened with Pamela and Jason. We've already seen that through the movies. We've seen it multiple times, actually. So this is going to be, unless there's some mysterious killer that just exists that we didn't know about at Crystal Lake, I don't know how it's going to be a slasher at all, if I'm being honest. Now, if it jumps back and forth time-wise, it could work, but I don't know. It depends on why you loved Friday. Depends on why you're a fan. If you're a fan because of the kills, you're probably not going to like this. If you're a fan because you love the current Jason, you might not like it as much. If you're a fan just because you're a fan of the story and the lore and everything, you'll probably dig it. I heard today finally starting to film Final Destination. Yes, that's true. Final Destination Bloodlines, I believe, was the name they chose. I saw that news, and there was even a little joke in there because Pet Sematary Bloodlines came out this past year. It was straight to DVD. And there was a little joke that they've had the name for like 3 years, and they're going to keep it. So, well, they said they're going to keep it for now. So, we'll see what happens with that. I love the Final Destination movies. Speaking of, it's either Guy or James from Scream 5 and 6, and potentially 7. They're also working on writing that. I think they're the main writer. Mr. Rick saying, I think they should just call it Ghostface and have it be a different story, but in the same universe. I would be totally okay with that. See, you can even still call it Scream 7. Here's what you do. You want a tie-in. You want it to be part of the Scream franchise and real, show that is part of the same franchise, it's in the same world. Fucking have a completely new cast, but you have the Stab movies. If the Stab movies are there, then it's a Scream movie because Stab only exists in the Scream universe. So have them watch a Stab movie or have fucking Gail Weathers TV show up on the TV at some point. Have them mention Sydney, but that's all you got to do. Like if you got the Stab movies, you're in the Scream universe. So that's the news I was talking about, Mr. Rick. That's the best news about horror I've gotten this year. Maxine release date July 5th this year. That's not too far away. It's the concluding. I think it's the conclusion. I think Ty West has said that there could be more story to tell, but as of now, this is the concluding chapter to the X trilogy. He had X, obviously, then he went back in time to Maxine or to Pearl, and now we're jumping forward in time to Maxine. And yeah, I did see that. Very excited about it. And this is what I was seeing today. Learned that today that A24 released Maxine in theaters on July 5th. Now, here's the thing. This cast, obviously, you've got Mia Goth, but you also have Halsey, Elizabeth Debicki, Moses Sumney. I'm not sure who they are. I know Halsey, know Elizabeth Debicki, know Michelle Monaghan, I know Bobby Cannavale, Lily Collins, Giancarlo Esposito, and Kevin Bacon. Bro, you got freaking Kevin Bacon in this thing. It says Maxine reverses the franchise's trajectory through time to pick up with Maxine after the violent events of X as a sole survivor continues her journey towards fame, setting out to make it as an actress in 1980s Los Angeles. And Mia even said, it's the best script of the three by far. It's going to be the best movie of the three. Now, here's the thing. I fucking love Pearl and X. If this is the best movie out of the three, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be really crazy. So yes, I did hear about that news, obviously, and I am super excited. Super excited about that news. That's honestly immediately jumps to my top 3 anticipated horror movies of the year. I think the other ones that are up there is definitely Saw 11. We're getting Saw 11 this year. I'm excited about it because of how good they did with Saw 10, but I'm hoping they don't go crazy like they did with the original Saws. And I love all of them, but they started trying to push them out on a timeline rather than making a good story, however long it took. So who else we got up here? Yeah, Russell saying 2009. Yeah, that's the last time we got any Friday. And it was the remake, and I love the remake. It's my favorite Friday. Melissa saying it doesn't seem to be that. Yeah, it doesn't, Melissa, but 2009, it's 2024. That's 15 years. So, and Melissa, that's the thing. We'll probably get Jason, but I don't think it's going to be the current Jason. So I don't know how they're going to do it. Like focusing on Camp Crystal Lake, from my understanding, it was going to be a prequel series. It was the whole thing, which means, we'll probably get Jason when he's a kid before he drowned or didn't drown or whatever it was. Let's see. But the first Friday has Pamela as the killer, so it's not far off when it comes to the story of Jason. So I know a lot of fans don't really like First Friday because that's the thing. When people think of Friday the 13th, they think of Jason. And that's even why they used it as a gotcha in the first Scream movie. That was the question that Casey Becker got wrong. Is who was the killer in the Friday the 13th movie? It was Pamela Voorhees. So it's, I think people are still going to watch it. And that's the thing. It could be a really good story. They could have something spectacular in mind, something spectacular up their sleeves. But I don't know if we're going to get like the traditional crazy slasher that we've come to we've come to associate with Jason Voorhees, because it's going to be a TV show, and if it's a prequel, Jason isn't going to be there in the same form. I just watched Malignant this morning after hearing Night talk about it. It was crazy. Malignant is an interesting one. It's a good James Wan vehicle. He did a pretty good job with it. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. I really enjoyed it. Didn't see it coming. To be honest, didn't see it coming. What's up, Jerry? We got Jerry jumping in here as well. We're just having a little horror chat this evening, Jerry. Just going to be on for a little bit. Probably only going to be on till around 8. Just talking about some horror news and stuff. We're not doing the any fan films this week because of some scheduling issues, and Michael's also not feeling well. So we're just kind of taking this week off. We're going to have to work out a new time to kick those back off next week. And yeah, so, but I still wanted to jump on and talk to some people. So if you got any comments, horror news you wanted to talk about, throw it out there. We'll bring it up. But yeah, the Crystal Lake is really, I put it up there because here's my thing. The reason I had it on there is, and I wanted to talk about it, is I don't know about an interview, and I could be missing something. I have not heard anything about Camp Crystal Lake in like the last 2 months. Like they were writing it. There was some stuff announced, some cast member announced. It was announced that Kevin Williamson would be writing one of the episodes. And then the writer's strike happened, and I haven't heard anything about it since then. Originally, they were supposed to shoot it, and we might even, like, there was a hopeful date of actually seeing an episode or two this year. But man, I don't know if we haven't gotten any announcement or anything yet, of cast, of directors, of writers. I don't know if we're going to get anything like that. So that's why I wanted to bring it up, because if y'all have heard anything else about it in terms of release date, shooting date, anything like that, let me know. See, Mr. Rick saying, I like what they did with Saw X, made a new story, but stay with. And that's the thing. I was so concerned about Saw X. I was so concerned that they were going to mess up the timeline somehow, but they didn't. They kept it contained, and they really kept it interesting. There wasn't really a twist. I mean, they had a little twist, but I wasn't upset the fact that it wasn't a huge twist like some of them normally do, because that's the thing. They're always trying to match the shock and awe of John Kramer standing up at the end of Saw 1. Always trying to match it. They're always trying to have that little twist. I don't think they're ever going to be able to match that, to top that, because now we're kind of expecting it. But they did a decent job of a twist at the end of Saw X, with the dude helping him out, or the dude actually being her partner. You saw him as a patient, the patient that was in there right before John went in, and then it turns out he was actually part of the whole thing. So yeah, I'm really happy with Saw X. I think it was either number 1 or number 2 top favorite of the last year for me. Really excited about it, and I'm excited for Saw 10. I just hope they don't push themselves too hard to just pump them out rather than focusing on, because that's the thing. They had years to focus on Saw 10 because there was no expectation that was coming out. But once it showed success, they're just like immediately like, okay, we got to get one out next year at the same time. It's like, man, just take a breather. Let it settle. Figure out a good story. Don't just say, I've got to come up with something and get it out in a year. That's not true. We'll wait for a good story. Oracle 684 is jumping in. What's going on, Oracle? Man, we're just chatting about some horror, talking about some news, some things that have come up. That's pretty much it. Who else we got jumping in here? I think I saw more people. I could be wrong though. You heard Malignant was getting a sequel. I did not hear that. I mean, I think it could work. I'm trying to remember how it ended and everything. It could probably work. Probably work with a sequel. I'm not sure. Michael is going. So I think Michael is going to try to do both. I think he's going live Thursday as a members only, and then I think he's going live Friday as his normal live. If I understand correctly, that's the plan. He's going live on Thursday, for as a members and patrons only, and Friday he's going to have his normal reaction video. So, do I think Jigsaw would be a perfect villain for Batman? No. Batman would decimate Jigsaw. Batman would just. That's the thing. Jigsaw is the smartest person in the room. That's why he has the ability to do the things he does. Is he's the smartest. Batman is infinitely smarter. That's what Batman has figured out a way. He's not the strongest, fastest, anything like that. But he's the smartest. He figures out a way to beat everyone. There's for the whole Justice League, he literally has a plan. It's canon in the comics that Batman has a plan in place to defeat every member of the Justice League. Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Superman, and he does. That's the thing. He takes down Superman, and he's nowhere near as strong as Superman. The only thing that limits Batman is his mild reluctance to kill people. If that was gone, no one would defeat Batman except for Superman. Superman also has that rule, which is why he doesn't kill Batman. So, JTG Studios is saying he heard Crystal Lake is filming this summer a few weeks back. Hey, if you can find that and like maybe shoot it to me on Instagram or something, I'd love to see that. I haven't heard any news on it. I was looking, and last really news I heard was Collider had an article like November of last year. Basically, is like everything we know about the Crystal Lake show, but I haven't really heard anything since then, man. It's just kind of radio silence. What's up, Marcus? First of all, thanks for being here, man. I think we already talked a little bit about Bloodlines. I love Final Destination. It is severely underrated, man. The impact it's had on the world. I mean, at least for people who see the impact is like undeniable. I said this on Night's stream as he was doing a watch along the other day. I don't know a single fucking person who's seen that movie and does not get out from behind a logging truck if it's driving. They're so creative setting these things up. And some of them are wild and outlandish. They are. But they're just awesome movies. And I'm excited for Bloodlines. I have no clue what it'll be. Like, I don't know why it's Bloodlines versus just Final Destination Part 7 or 8 or whatever it is. I'm excited about it. They all kind of follow the same formula, right? You got an accident at the beginning, a huge accident. It's usually a collision of some sort of, or not a collision, but like kind of a chain of events. Several people live. They try to figure out the order and try to cheat death. That's all. That's the movies. As much as I love them, you can boil them down to that. And then there was some, if I remember correctly, toward the end of the franchise, there was some lore that if you killed someone in their place, like in your place, you got your life extended by however many years they had left. And I remember that because what I remember about the last one specifically was that everything we were watching was technically a prequel. Spoiler alert, because the last one ended with them getting on a plane, and that was the plane from the first movie that went down. And then you see the guy, the black guy he was part of the friend group who lived, and he did kill someone to take his place. And then there was that whole thing of, oh, that person actually didn't have that much time to live because they had cancer or something. And a fucking piece of the plane falls out of the sky and crushes him. So there was some lore like that being introduced toward the end of it. But overall, an ensuing event or initiating event where some people live that shouldn't live, death starts taking them out. And man, as long as they use that formula, they can throw whatever twists and turns and quirks in there they want. It's going to be good. Russell saying hi to Marcus. Marcus saying, we're swirling about Saw 12 being Gordon versus Hoff. I would fucking love that. But if I remember correctly, the ending of the movie, the ending of the last one in the original timeline, they caught Gordon or they caught Hoffman. Hoffman was chained up, right? Like, because Gordon, I remember Gordon picking up the saw. It says like "Hello, old friend" or something, and throws it away. So the last we see, Hoffman is chained up in the bathroom, and Gordon's walking away. I mean, I guess he could get out, but I'm being honest, that's a little tacky because that already happened once. He already got put in the reverse bear trap, and he did his whole Hoffman thing. But as a villain, Hoffman is amazing. Dude just goes on a rampage, and he's just like fucking. He's like John Wick level of focus. Like he just takes people out. It's crazy. I didn't mind Saw X's ending with no real twist. I hear people say they were disappointed. They put in a huge twist that connects to the other Saws. I say that it would confuse and mess up the story. Exactly. That's the thing. I said this on streams leading up to Saw X. I'm like, I would rather you play it safe and not do a twist and leave the timeline intact rather than shoot for some huge, crazy twist that messes things up. So I'm really happy with the way they went. James Winburn, the stuntman for Nick Castle, has died. Oh, that sucks. Huh. I wasn't aware that Nick Castle had a stunt double, if I'm being honest. I'm assuming you mean Halloween, the OG Halloween, but yeah, that's crazy. And this is really Jerry, I just want you to know that your two messages in order are James Winburn, the stuntman for Nick Castle, has died. Hi, I shot him. Like, I know you're saying hi to Marcus, but it looks like you're saying I shot him about James Winburn. JTG Studios, man, I'll have to reach out. If it's on my bearded entertainment Instagram, I'm really behind on that. I do I have a personal one that I'm on primarily, and then I started a new one for my YouTube account so that I can separate things out, but it's just getting kind of crazy going back and forth. But thank you. I will take a look. And Mr. Rick saying, enjoy your Patreon to Chucky series again. Trust me, it gets better. Season 2 is pretty cool. Dude, I just finished the series today. I just finished season 1. Just finished season 1 today. Pretty crazy. I'm not going to talk about it here because I want to keep that over there, unfortunately. But some episodes started picking up, bro. They started picking up. Shit got crazy. What's with the spider movies? First Sting, now another spider movie called Infested is coming. I haven't seen anything about either of those, man, if I'm being honest. I guess I'm kind of out of the loop on some movies. I've been, not gonna lie, y'all, I've been working really hard trying to come up with ideas for content for Patreon and YouTube. I've been doing stuff for Etsy. I just sold the mask. That's why there's a different mask up here. The one that was up there I actually sold on Etsy. So that had to be shipped out. So yeah, I've just been super busy. I haven't seen either of these. Are they like B movies? Because the last good spider movie I saw that wasn't like a superhero movie was Eight-Legged Freaks. I don't know if y'all remember that movie at all, but Eight-Legged Freaks. I think it had Dewey in it. Freaking David Arquette. I'm pretty sure he was in Eight-Legged Freaks. But it was kind of funny, kind of scary. Eight-Legged Freaks. It's 2002. Man, that's 22 years ago. Yep, David Arquette, Scarlett Johansson, Doug E. Doug, who I remember most from Cool Runnings. Love that movie. But I haven't heard anything about these, Russell. Are they supposed to be good, or are they like terrible straight to DVD, straight to streaming movies? Mark is throwing out. Yeah, they had him chained up in the bathroom, but he was still alive, and who knows? Maybe his actual game is in the bathroom. We've never really seen. And that's the thing. I would be totally for it if there was a game. I don't want, like, when Jill put the bear trap, the reverse bear trap on him, there was no game. It was literally just he's gonna die. I would love to see a game with Hoffman in it where he's got to survive because I have no doubt that Hoffman would fucking survive because dude is a Terminator. Like, dude will do whatever it takes to survive those fucking traps. Um, so yeah, if there's a game in there, hell yeah, I'd love that movie. He finishes the game and then um, goes after Gordon. I'd totally be cool. Totally be cool with that. Dominic saying there's a Blackula remake by Peel in the make. I would, man. First of all, anything Jordan Peele touches turns to gold. I don't think there's been a movie in terms of horror that he has written, directed, or produced that's been bad. If his name is on it in horror, it's going to be good. Now he's had some comedy stuff come out that I wasn't a huge fan of, but in terms of horror, everything he's done so far, I've been super pleased with. So, and yeah, what's the last movie we had? Excuse me, what was the name of it? Was it just called The Blacks with Mike Epps and Cat Williams? Because there was I think it was a sequel. I gotta look this up really quick. I think it was just called The Blacks Part 2. Okay, is that it? Yeah, it was. It's The House Next Door, Meet the Blacks 2. And Cat Williams actually played the Blackula character. So, because Blackula, his name was Dr. Mamuwalde. That was his name. They wanted it to be something else, but he fought to make, it wasn't just going to be like some for lack of a better word, some race related name. He wanted him to be an educated man of high society, and that's what he was. That's what Blackula was. Cat Williams in this movie played Dr. Mamuwalde. Obviously, it was for comedic effect in this movie. It was not a great movie. It was funny. It was a fun time, but it was not a good movie. So it'd be interesting to see like a serious take on that movie because that movie was fantastic. And I don't think we've gotten anything. I don't like to bring race into things like that, but I don't think I can remember a good black-led vampire movie. The last one I can remember, aside from that one, that was a legitimate horror, was Vampire in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy. Yeah, that's the last one I can remember. I'd totally be on board for a Jordan Peele led Blackula remake. I'd be on board with the Jordan Peele helmed anything, any horror, man. He just does horror well. So, yeah, Eight-Legged Freaks, David Arquette. That was a good movie. Let's see. Sting is coming to theaters. I do know that. Okay, I might check it out. I'll add it to the list over here. Sting 2024. Okay, there it is. Sting 2024. After raising an unnervingly talented spider in secret, 12-year-old Charlotte must face the facts about her pet and fight for her family's survival. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm definitely saving that one, man. Jason's going to see Avril Lavigne September 6th. That's really cool, man. Avril Lavigne, she's featured on a song I really like right now called Fake as Hell. I forget the main artist, but she's the feature. It's a really cool song. Another Jurassic Park film titled Jurassic City. Man, Jurassic Park films, it happened with the original ones. 1, 2, and 3, they kind of decreased in quality. 3 being an eh. Then we had Jurassic World. They kind of decreased in quality too. They kind of fell off. So I think we should let it breathe. Let it breathe for a bit. Let's see here. Marcus is saying, at least to the degree of others, anyways. It would be interesting to see how they would go about that. Exactly, Chill just tried to kill him with no game. Yeah, I would, man. Like I said, I hope they set it up well. The premise of Gordon versus Hoffman is very enticing, but I just would want to make sure they got there properly. Like, lay out a good story and set of circumstances for me. And as long as they do that well, I'm totally on board, man. Love to see I'd love to see Hoffman versus Gordon. Saw the funniest Medea movie on Netflix, Tyler Perry movie with Mr. Brown. I haven't watched any Medea recently, but I loved the original Medea movies. They were so funny. Blackula was very educated, smart. They made Dracula kind of racist in that. Yeah, they did, and that's the thing. Like, if you go back and watch or read up on anything, they like Blackula's name wasn't supposed to be Dr. Mamuwalde. It was supposed to be something more kind of generic. But the actor who played him, and I feel bad for forgetting his name. He really wanted to insist that no, he's a doctor. This is his name, and this is this. So he won out on that, and I'm glad he did. Is there a vampire movie where Snoop Dogg plays a vampire pimp, or am I living in the Mandela? I'm not sure. I know Snoop Dogg was in a movie called Bones that absolutely terrified me as a kid. He might have played a vampire in a different movie. In that one, he wasn't a vampire, I don't think. I think he was like a demon. Like, he was killed due to some race-related things, and he comes back. He comes back by killing a bunch of people, and I just remember some scenes with the dog and like his skeleton being kind of like rehydrated or whatever. It was a terrifying movie. So he might play a vampire in a different movie, but that's the only one I know of him being in a horror movie. Yeah. So Rick saying he plays vengeful pimp. They say what's up to Melissa. What's going on? So saw the new John Wayne Gacy movie called Gacy Serial Killer Next Door, was creepy as hell on Tubi. I haven't seen that one. Now, in terms of Gacy, there's a movie, I forget the name of it. It was like a straight to DVD movie or straight to streaming. And it came out 14 years ago. It came out in 2010. And this movie I always enjoyed, but it's not great quality. And it's called 8213 Gacy House. And the premise is these paranormal investigators are going in, they're ghost hunters, and they're going into John Wayne Gacy's house for the night to set up their equipment and like see if there's ghosts there. Because as you all know, or don't maybe, he killed the most of his victims in his house and buried them under his crawl space. So yeah, I mean, it would stand to reason that if there was going to be ghosts, there'd be ghosts there. Oh, okay. That's the one with Jamie Foxx. I did not see Day Shift. I heard a little bit about it. I didn't hear it was that great, if I'm being honest, but I did hear about it. That was like a Netflix thing, right? Day Shift. It's 2022. That's pretty recent. Yeah, Day Shift. It's got a 56 out of 100 on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's a 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb. But yeah, it does say Snoop Dogg. Yeah, Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, and Snoop Dogg. I saw a preview about it, but for some reason I don't remember seeing Snoop Dogg be a part of it. But hell, that's him right there on the cover, I think. Yeah, I don't know how I missed that. I might have to watch that one this week. So yeah, I was not aware of that. I'll have to give that a watch. All right, y'all. I'm probably going to wrap it up here in the next 5 minutes. I just want to jump on for a quick stream, but what are y'all most excited for about this year in terms of horror? For me, right now, it's Maxine. We're getting Maxine quite soon, honestly. We're getting Maxine in like 3 months. Yeah, like 3 months and 10 days for Maxine. No, 4 months. Was it July? Pretty sure it was July. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I'm not crazy here. July. So 4 months. So yeah, we're getting Maxine in like 4 months. So that's my most anticipated of the year. Probably followed closely by Saw 11. Oh, I'm seeing some Terrifier. Here's the thing, man. I wasn't really, I don't know how I feel about Imaginary. I think it comes out this Thursday. Yeah, if I remember correctly, that comes out this Thursday. So I don't know how I feel about that one. I've seen several previews and it just kind of looks, for lack of a better word, generic. It could be good. It has everything it needs to be good. So not, not saying anything about that it has to be bad. It's just it kind of looks generic from the trailers. Ghostbusters, though, I still haven't watched the trailer for Ghostbusters because I wanted to do a reaction for it. And I don't know if I still want to do that, if I just want to avoid the trailers and then see the movie fresh. I saw the teaser. I haven't watched the full trailer. So I'm super excited for that. I just didn't really count that as horror because at this point it's more comedy than horror, comedy action, but it is going to be great. Melissa's excited for Terrifier 3. That's a good one. Some of the pictures that have been coming out, the set photos look crazy. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I hope they delve a little bit more into the story. I met Lauren Lavera at Scarefest last year. It was really funny because Killjoy Jake and I were talking to her, and this was before the teaser. The teaser for part 3 came out because they had they brought Terrifier 2 back to theaters, and after there was an exclusive teaser trailer. This was before that, and she told us to give Damian Leone shit because she wasn't in the trailer. She wasn't in that teaser. So I'm wondering if Sienna's coming back. I'm assuming she is, but who knows at this point? Who really knows? I hope she is because she was a damn good character. I'm just curious where they're going to take the lore for Terrifier for Art the Clown. All right, last comment, and I'm going to jump off here. If the shit didn't hit the fan, I would say Scream 7. Bro, you're right. I don't think we're definitely not getting Scream 7 this year. And it was my opinion from last year after Scream 6 came out when I mean, it was my opinion in several live streams where I was like, 2025 is when we're probably going to get it because it just made sense that way. If they had been on the same production schedule they were on track, and the original production schedule was finishing up shooting, wrapping filming 19th of April. So that's next month. They would have been on track for an October-November release date. With everything being pushed back now, as of right now, we don't have a cast, we don't have a director, we don't have a script. As of right now, 2025 is early 2025 is a hope, is a dream. End of 2025 is more than likely. Because they, without a cast or without, if they're still trying to get Sydney to come back and she doesn't or she can't, then, the script's going to have to be rewritten. So if they're just now giving up on the wish list cast, then they're going to have to rewrite the script to have a new cast. So at this point, man, yeah, Scream 7, I'm thinking 2025. But Saw 11, Terrifier, and Maxine, those are some great movies. We're going to have hopefully a better year this year than last year. Last year did have some good movies, but compared to like 2022 and 2021, last year was a little bit of a downslide. So I think next year is going to be pretty good, or this year is going to be pretty good rather. And I'm excited for next year too, to see what we got coming. But thank you everyone for showing up. I am going to wrap it up. I know it's a short stream, but I just wanted to jump on and say hi to everyone and just get my face out there, tell y'all I love you. make sure you know I'm still here, just having an off week and doing a couple different things. We will be back hopefully next week with some fan films. I'm gonna get with Michael. We'll probably have a stream before then with you all to just to throw some times out there, get your opinion on when you'd rather them be. Bro, I'm jumping off. It was just a short stream. It's because of John, everyone. Yeah, we're just chatting about some horror. I will wait, John, for you to leave one comment. What horror movie are you most excited about this year? See, Lauren Lavera and Elliot Fulman are reprising the roles as Sienna and Jonathan Shaw in 3. Cool. Cool. I really want to see them. I hope they're not just cameos, though. Like, I hope they're not just cameos. And Jerry, unfortunately, I can't go to Horror Hound. I wish, man. It's just too soon and, well, money. Man, if I was a rich man, I'd be there, but I'm kind of putting all my eggs in the Scarefest basket right now. But I'm going to be honest, dude. I looked at the lineup for Horror Hound, and I was just like, dear God, I wish I was going. Horror Hound, Spookala down in Tampa looks amazing. There's so many I wish I was going to. But unfortunately, I will not be at Horror Hound. Man, that's really generous of you. Here's the thing. Here's what I've learned. Getting a ticket to a convention is one thing, but going without having any money to spend is really not fun. It's not. So I could get the ticket. I could swing that. I could get the travel up there and everything. It's just I wouldn't have any money to actually meet anyone, and that's just kind of defeats the purpose of going. So, bro, I completely forgot to fucking talk about The Strangers. That trailer was amazing. I was really impressed by the trailer. It kind of looks formulaic, but I'll agree with you there, John. I am super excited about The Strangers Chapter 1. It does look good. From what I understand, there was going to be 3 of them, and they were all supposed to come out this year. So I'll update everyone if I find out something different. But I was pretty sure that was the situation. They filmed 3, Chapter 1, 2, and 3, and they're going to be coming out this year. I could be wrong though. But with that, everyone, I am going to jump off here for the night. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you did, it really does mean a lot to me. You'll spend an hour out of your day just looking at this ugly mug and chat about horror. But with that, I'm going to jump off here. Thank you so much. I hope everyone has a wonderful, safe week. Peace.
Oh. I hate goodbyes.